What's up, everybody? It's Bobo here. I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far today. I hope that you all have been having some better luck than I have on these ancient shards for this 2x event. Not been so lucky so far. But let's go ahead and get into this. And start pulling some shards. See what we can get. Be right back. Alright, there we go. Now we're ready to continue. Looks like I'm getting a whole lot of food right now. Okay, record drive. And she is a phenomenal epic. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% or 35% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack for 2 turns. Heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. After healing, place a perfect veil on them for 2 turns. There's not a whole lot of, champions that have the perfect veil. But she does it for 2 turns on all allies with full HP. Places a 15% continuous heal buff for 1 turn. And then she revives a single ally with 60% HP and fills their turn meter by 60%. And then places a perfect veil buff on them for 3 turns. Her passive is whenever an ally under a veil or perfect veil buff gets a turn, heals them by 10% of their max HP. Also increases the resistance of allies under veil or perfect veil buffs by 50. Will only increase resistance once per ally if there are multiple rectors on the team. And then she brings in increased ally resistance in Doom Tower battles by 55. She is a solid epic champion. Let me go look real quick. I believe I needed her from this account. Not necessarily needed her, but yeah. Yeah, I definitely needed her. Alright, let's get back into this. food. More food. This apothecary's terrible brother with bad skin. Okay, now this is one thing I'll say. Even though this guy's not super great or anything like that, I'm happy to get him because I don't really get a whole lot of Shadowkin people for my faction crypt. So I don't really have a whole lot of Shadowkin people. So I'm glad to get any Shadowkin people I can get. That's why here lately I've actually been when I've been starting new accounts. I've been going with I believe his name's Kurato from the Shadowkin. That way I at least got somebody in there that I can add people around. Grim skin, yeah. Oh, okay. Loki, let's go. Loki the Deceiver. Alright. Although I would have loved to have got him on my other account with the Thor. But that's fine. I'll take him on this one. Attack all enemies. There's a 30% chance of increasing the duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn. If this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff, the chance increases to 50, which would be perfect to go with Rector. Let's see. If the target is an enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a block active buff skills buff and a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. The champion using this skill is under Veil or Perfect Veil buff also applies a debuff spread effect, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies. Okay. If the target is an ally, or this champion heals them by 50% of their max HP and places a Perfect Veil buff on them for 2 turns. If this champ is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff, also applies a debuff spread effect, taking a random buff from the target and placing it on all allies. So this is A2, brings block active skills, block buffs, and Perfect Veil. This A3 has a 75% chance of stealing all buffs from the target enemy and 100% of their turn meter. Nice. These effects cannot be resisted if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff. If your target's turn meter was not stolen, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% instead. Okay. Also places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. And as passive, is he places a Perfect Veil buff on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. Okay. So that's automatically going to get him under the Veil. Also places a Perfect Veil buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever their HP drops below 50%. Okay. Has a 50% chance to evade an enemy skill and all of its accompanying effects if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff The chance to evade increases to 30%. Active effect. This champion's HP is below 50% when targeted by an enemy, has a 100% chance to evade that skill and all of its accompanying effects. This guaranteed evade then goes on cooldown, and it's a 4-turn cooldown. Okay. Loki the Deceiver, the Asgardian. Let's go. I wonder if we can get some more gold in here. I doubt it, but it would be nice if I could hit another one. Last 10. Okay, there goes me another Shadowkin. Maybe to give me something. Oh, no. Alright, let's see what we can get for this last one, and let's hope for something good. And nothing. Alright. Well, that's it for this one, folks. I hope you guys all have better luck out there, and I'll be back later on my main account with my Thor to see what I can get on that one. So I hope you all have a good day, and I wish you the best in your pools.